Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Oh, you guys, I tell you, um, I feel like I have been in like a, well, I'm not sure what to call it. I feel like I have been stuck in a endless loop of conspiracy theories, and looking at Tisha Tales did not help at all. I feel like for every theory that you hear, there's a what is going on? And still, it seems to get back to why is everybody wearing black? No, they're not wearing black, it's navy blue. Well, still, is everybody's color palette on the same level all at one time? It just, mm, I don't know. You know how they say the devil is in the details? I just don't know what to make of it. Um, do you? I'm not being sarcastic, I'm serious. What to make of it? Mary H, thank you so much for being here first. Uh, Hi, CK, B. Martim, Bunny Rose, Judy Mutasit. Who else is here? Mimi D. Okay. Jelaine Modestine, thank you so much for being here. Katie V, C Mac, and a host of friends and others. Hey, Lydia Washington, Marshar. Has anybody heard from Elaine or perhaps Black Queen? I hope they're both feeling better. I think Elaine has been on. She was on yesterday, right? And Black Queen, I don't know, but I hope she's feeling better. Anyway, hey, Cookies and Cream, Maggie Howe. Well, let's get into it because I don't want to stay on too long. But as I said yesterday, the clouds seem to have gathered over Buckingham Palace. Um, oh, thank you, Susie Q. Happy Tuesday to you too. Hey, Church Nelly, thank you for being here. And let's see, Hasana. Wait, that's moving. Stop moving. Where did it go? Anyway, thank you for being here. Hello, Coffee Mom. Good morning, Baron, fellow squatties around the world. Whew. It's been crazy 24 hours. Yeah. Um, I'm telling you, I don't know what to make of it. So we know Harry came in, right? But why all of a sudden? Why so fast? Karen Damaris, thank you so much for the um, Cash App. Okay. Well, okay, so that slipped. Usually I just give the initials, but I told you I'm all over the place. I do apologize for that. I hope that's not a problem. Um, okay. Okay. So let me see. Church Nelly says if Tampon is okay and Will is still perform duties, why did Harry have to rush to his side? Yes, Church Nelly, that is a good question. But then again, Charles is not giving the type of they're not naming the type of cancer. They just, I mean, okay. Here's my issue. First, you say that Kate's in, oh God, hospital. Kate's in hospital. All right, so Kate's in that place. Then 90 minutes later, Charles is scheduling a procedure because of his prostate. But don't worry, it's non-cancerous. Is what, benign, non-cancerous? Okay. So then we find out that Willie goes to the hospital after they say he would bend heaven and earth, And then we find out that Charles is in the same hospital. Charles has gone to see Kate. Um, and Gladys, Camilla can't seem to stay in or out. She's back and forth. She don't stay long enough to draw a behind print, and then she's out of there, and then she's back in another outfit and smiling. And of course, they said that Charles went to Kate's bedside. So aside from Willie Leaks, aside from Charles, we don't know that anybody else has gone to see her. Not her mother, certainly not her children, not her siblings, none of that, right? So I'm not going to go too far back. Well, I've gone far back enough, but I'm not going to go into so many details, should I say. So then fast forward to yesterday. No, yeah, yesterday. God, it's hard to believe it was yesterday because Harry got there so fast. Now all of a sudden, Charles does have cancer, but they won't say what kind. While they were doing this, they found that. Then Harry rushes over to see Charles, and it's like no sooner. God, when was the announcement? Yesterday. Harry's there. 24 hours later, Harry's there, right? Not even 24 hours, was it? That's blinding speed, but that's our Harry. Then, if that's not enough, then we find out that Harry was only there 45 minutes, and then the helicopter took off. We don't know where Harry is. We don't know if he's still there or if he's home. Then there's this thing from Willie Leaks saying that he's going to do a couple of engagements, but the bulk of his time and most of his attention is going to be for Kate, right? And then they say Charles is in full agreement. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. I don't know what it is, or the state of whatever it is. Something is just not right, and that I'm just like, okay, I got to go on sooner or later. But I wanted to be sure. I don't know what I wanted. I don't know what to think. I'm just confused. And then why don't we go to the big elephant in the room? Where's Kate? Where is Kate? Why is everybody wearing black, and where is Kate? Now we know what Spanish television says, and of course there hasn't been a firm denial, just irritation that they said what they said. Uh-huh. So where's Kate? And honestly, I don't want anything bad to happen. I'm not dwelling on it because I'm looking for bad news or I'm some kind of, voyeur or something like that. But I'm just curious because, like I said, all of these things can affect the Sussexes in some form or fashion. And because of that, I don't know. I just like to know what we're dealing with here because, I don't know hey, Big Mama. Let's see. Big Mama, you always have words of wisdom. Let's see. Big Mama says he's starting treatment fast, and that means the cancer is worse than they're saying. Thank you, Big Mama. And you know what? Big Mama? One thing about um, having had life experience like most people here are of certain ages, it's amazing how much we know about medicine, about treatments and illnesses because of the experience that we've had because of family members who have gone through certain treatments and illnesses and sickness and such. So when you say that, you say it with great authority because that's just the way these things go. And while some people are saying it's this serious and that serious, then almost in the same breath, you have other people saying, oh, they caught it early. It's not so serious. It's not that bad. Then if it's not, why did Harry have to rush over there? What was the big hurry? And one of the things that I have been playing around with in my thoughts is Charles. If he know what's good for him, he ought to be terrified of being in incapacitated situation and have William call him the shots. Like whether to end to end the intervention. I'll just say intervention. I won't say the other thing, but whether or not to cease intervention in whatever life-saving activities are going on. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? But I find myself just a bit overwhelmed with the thoughts of it. And that's why, I mean, listen, I've been fooling with this all day and I just found myself stuck because I'm like looking at this and looking at that and trying to figure out what to make of it. And honestly, I don't know. I'm at a loss right now. I'm at a loss right now. And anyway, let me see. Thank you, Big Mama. Leslie F says, Baron, I think Charles was making Beatrice and Harry work in Royals again, even if it's part time, and take up some of it his engagements. You know, in 45 minutes, I mean, if these things were already in negotiation and such, then oh God, and nothing good ever happens when they make sure that Meghan's not there. You know what I mean? Nothing good ever happens when they go through the trouble of making sure Meghan is not there. And was this whole thing such a rush to make sure that Meghan's not there? Um, I don't know. So I mean, if that is the case, um, I'll, I won't say that I think it. I'm no. Listen, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, Harry, watch your six. Watch your six. That's military speak for watch your back, or law enforcement. Watch your six. Watch your 6 o'clock. Watch your six. Put your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel, and don't eat nothing they offer you. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, the whole thing is just uh, I feel like if we understood where Kate was, then that would be half of it. The other half of it is what are they not saying about Charles? No, that's not right. What are they not saying about Kate? And where is she? Those are two things. What are they not saying? The mystery illness and yeah, but they rich. Nothing ever happens to rich people. Uh but no, I don't think that the bulk of what's happening is in any way affecting the Sussexes. At least I hope not. But yeah, I mean, I get that too. But if they had to retreat and go someplace else, I'm sure they could do that effectively. They have options. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, the storms in California is a factor. Hi, Simone Boyd. Let me see. It's oh, thank you by the way, Leslie. They're interesting cloud shape. Oh, you see it too, huh? You see it? Okay, now to be fair, full disclosure, the clouds that you see there is not actually the clouds that were over Buckingham Palace. That was just a little sleight of hand that I pulled because I wanted to get just the right kind of cloud cover. But thank you for noticing the face that seems to be gazing down into the courtyard. uh, Well, you notice that according to those puzzles, you have a very high IQ. Uh, and the fact that I saw it means that it's just obvious, but for you, that means a high IQ. Hello, Lorna Williams. Harry had to go because it would look bad if he didn't. Chucky didn't announce what type of cancer because he wanted the sympathy and the crowds. Notice the attention with Harry there today. Well, you know what? You know what? That is very factual. That is very accurate. Um, all of a sudden, the attention was overwhelmingly positive for Charles, and of course, it makes him look good as a dad because, well, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to say, yeah, you're right. I'm not even going to explain that one. That one is self-explanatory. Thank you very much for your comment. Yes, I saw that. I saw that they were wearing black. That's why I think Harry and her were there to sign royal papers and to bring them back. Okay, Beatrice and Harry outside of the Cambridge household, they are the closest to the throne. Harry first, and then the Duke of York, and of course, there's no question that he can do anything because he can't. And then Beatrice. So Leslie F. I think you're on the right track. I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that because otherwise, what other reason would those two alone have gone to? Well, Beatrice with her husband, but yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense is that. Wait a minute, you said Beatrice, but Eugenie is who's older, Beatrice or Eugenie? I thought it was Eugenie. Who was born first? I thought it was Eugenie that was next. Or is it Beatrice? Oh, you know what? I have a way to look right now. Hold on a second. I'll look at that chart from yesterday. That will tell me everything. Where is that chart from yesterday? Yesterday's chart. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Give me just a second. Let me bring up the slide from yesterday, and we will see. There we go. So, okay. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I need the one for line of succession. Okay, that's the wrong one. But is oh god, that Beatrice and Eugenie. How come I can never tell them apart? Uh, line of succession. I have the chart here. Give me a second. Wait, how you spell secession? Oh man, hold on. British line of succession. How you spell it? Okay, no worries, I got it. So, okay, okay, I got. Okay, well, let me see. Yeah, you're right. It's Beatrice. It's Beatrice. It's William George. What's that girl's name? Charlotte, Louis, Harry, Archie, Lily, York, and Beatrice, and then the baby Monopoly, whatever that family's name is, Monopoly, and then Eugenie, and then is it Nugent, Nugget, Nugent? What did they name that baby? It's blurry. I can't see it, but okay. And then Ernest. God, they named that child Ernest. Good Lord. and then Edward and his kids. So okay, you're right. So it is Beatrice. Well, that took a month of Sundays, but yeah, it is Beatrice. I don't know why I thought it was Eugenie, and still can't tell them apart. I don't know which is which. Yeah, Beatrice. Okay, ain't B, ain't B. It's ain't B. Okay. So you're right. You are so right. I'm so sorry. I'm probably going to miss most of these comments, but let me keep going. So there's another cloud cover. I couldn't decide which one I liked the most. That one looks too bright, but this one is just right. Now that I see it on here, I think I'm going to go with that one. The clouds that have gathered over Buckingham Palace. Now, guess what day it is on the 6th of February? It is Secession Day. And as you know, Secession Day for Queen Elizabeth was the day that her father died and she became queen. So, 6th February 2022 marked 70 years of the queen being on the throne, right? Her succession to the throne. So marks 70 years since Queen Elizabeth acceded to the throne on the death of her father, King George VI, right? And so, how interesting is it that Succession Day in 2022 included the Queen signing a document saying that she wanted people, well, it was of her, you know, word that she wanted people to refer to um, the the Queen consort. Well, the what was she, the Duchess of Cornwall, who was really the Princess of Wales, but she styled herself Duchess of Cornwall not to offend people who have known and loved Princess Diana. And then, of course, it wasn't long after the Queen died that Charles said, "You know what? We'll just call her the Queen." And so, well, anyway, so Secession Day, that was the 6th of February. And how interesting, you have this big announcement from Charles on the 5th. And then on the 6th, you got Harry racing there to be by his side at that very pivotal transitional moment. Um, yeah, how is it? How is it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. So, Session Day 2022, 70th anniversary of Her Majesty's reign. Okay, and just, taking you through the years, there's the 70 years as they played out: 52, 62, 72, 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 2022. God, that's a long time. Look at how his mom changed from the day she took the throne until pretty much the day she left this earth. That metamorphosis is incredible to see playing out. There's not many people in history who have had all of the years of their lives, of their life, that is, photographed and documented day after day after day. But let's say most days of the Queen's life, she was photographed or filmed at one time or the other. And then, of course, when you look at this, you can see it makes it almost like slaps you alert when you think about all those years, and Charles has only just become king. Not even 2 years has it been, right? Not even 2 years. And already he's facing his own mortality. Boy, I tell you, sometimes the arc of truth, I'm not even sure what that means in this conversation, but let me see. So the Secession Day might be why everyone is wearing black. I read in some article that said there was going to be some kind of service in celebration of the Queen. But the Queen's Secession Day is September 8th, not February 6th. So it wouldn't have anything to do with that. And I don't know that anybody has ever gone through that, um, wearing black, everybody wearing black because of George the Sixth. I don't think anybody's ever done that. The Queen, she would usually retreat to Sandringham, which, by the way, Charles left Clarence House and went to Sandringham. Charles received Harry at the Clarence House, and then 45 minutes later, he helicoptered off to Sandringham. So, like pieces moving on the chessboard, exactly what in the heck does that mean? I don't know. So, take a look here, you guys. They've been trying it. Oh wait, they're trying to whip everybody into a frenzy. But take a look. This was today. There's a reporter live at Buckingham Palace. Where's the crowd? In the middle of the daylight. Where's the crowd? Where's all of those people that are supposed to be at Buckingham Palace? It looks like a typical day of tourists making their way back and forth through London, and some of them stopping by Buckingham Palace for the obligatory photograph, and then they keep it moving. I mean, there's not really anything to see. I don't know there's so many people ever just sit around waiting for a glimpse of Chuck to come rolling by in the state Bentley. Um, so yeah, I don't. If that is supposed to, oh, let me see. Mimi D says it's interesting that Charles announced he had cancer the next day following World Cancer Day. Yes, that's also something we should take note of. As a matter of fact, we did make note of the fact that it was World Cancer Day on the on this. It was Sunday, right? It was past Sunday. It was World Cancer Day. So yeah, that's a bit interesting. No, it was the fourth. I'm sorry, I take it back. It was the fourth. The fourth was World Cancer Day. The next day, Charles announces that he has cancer, and then the day after that, Harry is there with Charles, which just happens to be Secession Day. A lot of coincidences, huh? A lot of coincidences. Well, a lot of those people are into astrology and stuff like that. So who knows what they're conjuring up? Wasn't Kitty at Sandringham when that convoy was spotted? Well, okay, okay. Let me think. What did that say? It said that the convoy was near Sandringham, and no, it was either from Sandringham and I know they did mention Sandringham. I'm sorry, they did mention that, and then they said that it seemed to be headed toward the George the something hospital, George the Sixth, I think, hospital. So they didn't say that they saw it 100% for sure, for certain, go to the hospital. They just said headed in that direction. So I just want to make sure that we're accurate about that, even though the common belief is that the convoy definitely went to the hospital. So that's one for you. That is one for you. TB said, I said this last week. They were waiting for Harry to get there before they announced the truth. They knew King Charles III was sick for many months now. Why was King Charles III and Harry wearing black? You know what, TB? Doesn't it go back to why is everybody wearing black? So it's the whole thing of announcing Charles' illness, because indeed people have been saying he's been looking bad for a while, right? To announce it 90 minutes after Kate, and all of it looks like it gives cover to Willie or Willie and Kate. It all looks like it's supposed to give them cover. And then, you know what else I noticed? Today, there were people sending flowers to to Clarence House. Did you see the video of people walking toward Clarence House through the gate with the flowers? Where were the flowers at the London clinic where Kate was supposed to be? Where Kate was supposed to be. Oh, I got to swallow real hard. Hold on. Where Kate was supposed to be in hospital. Okay. Where Kate was supposed to be in hospital. God, I hate saying that. If nothing else, I'll be glad when I don't have to say it. I will be so glad when I don't have to keep saying in hospital. Oh, you don't know how that grates on my nerves. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And the people over there say it like it's just so natural. So and so in hospital. The, the, the hospital. Good God, this is grating on my nerves. Anyway, oh Lord. Okay. Now, take a look here. Breaking. Harry and Meghan head to Scotland, and Charles and William and the Queen's immediate family gather at her bedside in Balmoral after concerned doctors keep her under medical supervision. So at this point, people were already on television wearing black. And then look at the time stamp on there. Look at the time stamp. 8:21 a.m. That was the time when I saw it, right? That was my time, Central Time. And then let's take a look there. 8:21 a.m. Same day, within seemingly within a minute. It looks like they changed the article to Harry and Meghan head to Scotland as Charles William and wait a minute, is that the same? Wait. Oh no, yeah, it is the same, isn't it? It is the same. Why does that look different to me? Never mind. I thought I was onto something there, but never mind. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, wasn't it? This is what I was looking for. Also that day, if you recall, under terms of the letter patent in 1917, the children of Their Royal Highness the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are now HRH Prince Archie and HRH Princess Lilibet of Sussex as children of the son of the sovereign. Yeah, as children of the son of the sovereign. Anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with anything for today. I just like saying that. I found this receipt earlier. I just wanted to remind you all that even though they were trying to be shady by not updating the website, I'm just wanting to remind you all that there were people, including the tabloids, that threw that out there almost immediately. They threw it out there immediately. And that's amazing considering that as much as they have animosity against the Sussexes, as much as they hate the Sussexes and they have been on this hate campaign, they threw it out there faster than the royal family would owe up to it. But anyway, I just like saying that. Katie V, a member for 12 months. Thank you so much for that. And thank you again for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. Oh, and Katie V, thank you so much for the super sticker. And of course, being a member of Royal Sussex. Why does my bell sound funny? Okay, there we go. Okay, my clapper. Looked like my clapper wasn't working right. All right, let's get back to today. I was just, being that way when I said that. But anyway, Prince Harry arrives in London to be at Charles' side. Duke touches down at Heathrow while Meghan remains in flood-hit California with their children as experts urge him to heal family rift as his father is treated for cancer. Boy, did they put a mouthful on that one. Why are they making it sound like Meghan, Archie, and Lily is on a door? And Dory is reaching out to them. Uh, why did they make it sound like that? I think they're being a bit overly dramatic. The whole state of California is being hit by torrential downpours. Um, but of course, if it wasn't this, then they'll talk about the mountain lion that was seen in the neighborhood. If it wasn't this, they'll whatever. It's always something. If one of the satellites fall from the sky, they're going to say that it was seen heading in the direction of Montecito. Whatever it is, a runaway barge, I don't care if the barge is on the Mississippi, they're going to say that it was headed toward Montecito. Every disaster, natural, man made, you name it, it always seems to have a route directly headed to Montecito. Why is that? Why do they dwell on everything that could possibly go wrong, everything that could happen? You know, if somebody escapes from the Joliet prison in Joliet, Illinois, they're going to swear they saw the prisoners hitchhiking their way to Montecito. I mean, they really got to stop doing that. they they really got to stop doing that. Stop equating every possible outcome with Montecito. The Hindenburg disaster, that was, where was that, in Lakehurst, New Jersey, New York, wherever it was. If there was a Zeppelin going down today, they'll say it was headed toward Montecito. It's always Montecito. Montecito gets about as much press as Baltimore. No, I take it back. Montecito gets about as much press as New York. I mean, it's just all Montecito all the time. If it wasn't for Harry and Meghan, nobody even knew about Montecito. They always just referred to it as Santa Barbara, right? Now, Montecito is on speed dial. Everybody talks about Montecito. And remember, Harry and Meghan are irrelevant. They have no purpose and no meaning whatsoever, but somehow they make Montecito seem like it has a population of 9 million. Let me see. Jocelyn Young. Jocelyn Young, thank you so much for the super chat. And B. Martim says, they are so happy Prince Harry came back to see the king. That's all they keep talking about. Isn't it though? Isn't it though? And then they have these fantasies about what if all were forgiven? What if everybody got along and sang Kumbaya? Thank you so much for the super chat, B. Martim. But yeah, that seems to be the size of it, is that they are of the opinion that everybody suddenly is going to, like they're going to go to an open field and say, I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. And then, of course, Charles comes in. Oh, God, Camilla, I don't want to sing this song. Bloody song. Anyway, Breaking Harry just landed at Heathrow Airport and is now on his way to see his father, King Charles III. Do you know that they said that people were camped out at Heathrow all night? As a matter of fact, they said that if you would have looked back at the windows from outside, you wouldn't have seen the light in the inside of the airport. All you would have seen were faces and cameras pressed against the glass. And look at that photo. Look at that photo. Do you see all of those people wearing black? But do you see all of those people desperately waiting to see Harry's convoy? Do you see that? I mean, this is. I don't think anything this big, has happened at Heathrow in quite some time. Leslie F says, per Jocelyn, the Grim Reaper was at the coronation. That's right. Thank you so much, Jocelyn and Leslie F. Thank you for the super chat. But that's right. We saw the Grim Reaper scurrying past at the coronation. That hooded figure. Never did figure that out, did we? Never did figure that out. Huh, I almost forgot about that guy. Now, to show you how big this news is, Chris Ship with a P, not a T. That's Chris Ship with a P, not a T. It's not, well, anyway, it's Chris Ship. Ship with a P, not a T. One of these days, I'm going to slip and say it. You know that's going to happen. After an overnight flight from LAX, it seems Prince Harry has landed at Heathrow Airport and is now on his way to see his father, King Charles. And then over here, not Chris Ship with a P, not a T, but notice they have made one of their fancy graphics to describe the day. I mean, this kind of coverage, this is like royal wedding. This is like coronation, funeral, all of that. Whenever they get those fancy graphics out like that, you know they mean business. Judy Matassa, do you think Meghan is giving voodoo lessons? Oh, you've seen that video too, huh? I wasn't. I'm not. I won't be able to share the video, but I did see that video earlier. Something to do with voodoo, but I'm not sure about that one. But thank you so much, Judy Matassa. But it was a funny video for sure. So Harry leaves 2:45 a.m. Number 2, and at Buckingham Palace 11 a.m. And number 3, Harry lands at Heathrow at 1 p.m. Number 5, Charles leaves Clarence House 3:35 p.m. Number 4, Harry arrives at Clarence House 2:45 p.m. Number 6, Charles arrives at Sandringham at 4:20 p.m. So let me see. Did I get that out of order? I did get it out of order, didn't I? It's number 4. Okay. Anyway, Harry arrives at Clarence House. Charles leaves Clarence House. And then next thing you know, Charles is at Sandringham. So again, he's there at 4:20, huh? Well, now that he has his diagnosis, now that he is being treated for cancer, maybe he had to get there at 4:20 for medicinal purposes, huh? I mean, he likes organic stuff, right? He loves organic things, so maybe that's why he has to be there at 4:20. I'm just saying. Now the 4:20 makes sense. I couldn't think about it before, but now it makes sense. Wait. Do you think that's why they Do you think that's why he needed Harry to come over there? Because he wants to keep his treatment secret? Huh? Do you think that he was he was hoping that somebody could help him out? Oh well. I won't let my mind wander like that. But I mean, after all, he did arrive in Sandringham at 4:20. Oh boy. The Reaper is Charles's cousin, just saying hi. Without the hood, there's a striking family resemblance. Did Kate shout Camilla recently? Another theory. Um, Actually, if anybody needs Camilla, you need only stand in the mirror and look in the mirror and say Camilla Parker Bowes 3 times fast, and just like the stuff of a childhood nightmare, Camilla will appear. You will see this drawn, withered figure looking back at you in the mirror. Yeah, just go in the bathroom and take a flashlight or a torch, if you will, and turn it on. Cut all the lights out and turn that flashlight up to your face and yell Camilla Parker Bowl 3 times and see what happens. It's just like yelling Beetlejuice 3 times. Oh, you all, this is very serious. We shouldn't be having this much fun. Thank you, YM Droid. This is very serious. We should not be having this much fun. So, anyway, last time we got Harry's hanger. Now we have Harry's cheek. Yeah, this is the cheek seen round the world. Harry's cheek. For hours, we didn't have anything but an image of Harry's cheek. They are so hard up and so desperate for coverage that they managed to get a glimpse of Harry's cheek. And this is all we had to look at for most of the day was Harry's cheek. Let me see. That's what I was trying to do. Ulibi says Lord Harry is the most irrelevant famous person in Salty Island. You could say that again. You can say that again. Okay, again, more of Harry's cheek. Prince Harry pictured outside Clarence House in the past hour, and you can see Harry's convoy. They kept calling it Harry's convoy, not a motorcade, but a convoy. That's what the media was calling it. The Duke of Sussex's convoy. Not sure why. And then, of course, I found a version of that song, If I Had a Hammer. Did you know that there was another version that was written just for Prince Harry? If I had a hanger, I'd travel in the morning. I'll travel in the evening, all over that land. I'll travel out danger. I travel out warning. I travel out love between my brother and my sisters all over Britain. If I had security, I'd return to England in the morning. I'd return in the evening. I'd return all the time. I wouldn't worry about danger. Wouldn't worry about Camilla. I'd visit out of love between my brother and my sisters all over England. Stay with me now. Join in if you know the words. If I had a frog more, I'd stay there in the morning. I'd stay there in the evening. I'd stay there all the time. I'd visit out trooping of colors. I'd come to the Commonwealth Day. I'd visit because of love between my brothers and my sisters all over England. Now let's wrap it up. Bring it home. I ain't got a sisters. Ain't and I can't stand my brother. So I'll just stay for 45 minutes this time. maybe maybe longer and maybe longer in the future. It depends on my father. Nacho is my only brother. So goodbye, Great Britain. Surely you've heard that song before, right? It's called If I Had a Hanger by Prince Harry. He is one of the most prolific songwriters of our day. That's right. Prince Harry is one of the most prolific songwriters. B. Martin, let me see, the most irrelevant person brought a city to a standstill. Amen to that. Thank you so much for the super chat. If I had a hanger, I'd travel in the morning. If I had Frogmore Cottage. uh, okay. Exclusive. And he's back. Prince Harry, just 28 hours and 42 minutes in the United Kingdom for King Charles' coronation, making it in time for Archie's 4th birthday party. And there you can see, have hanger will travel. Harry managed to get in and out of there in 28 hours. Well, he did it again, maybe. We don't know if he's still there, but there actually, well, we don't know. We don't know. I waited until just before I went on and I was looking. Oh, oh, don't need that. And I was looking to see if Harry had managed to scoot back in there, but it seems like he may still be in the United Kingdom because at this point they are camping out at LAX. They're going to be looking for Harry to return. So interesting. Yep, it should be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking right now to see if there's any mention of Harry being back in California. I don't see any. So, doesn't mean that he ain't back. I just don't see any. Let me take one more look. Nope. Let me see. London. Harry would have gladly accepted reunion with William, but instead spends night in London hotel after. Oh, they say he's in a hotel. Meeting with cancer-stricken King Charles, Duke set to return to L.A. as Prince of Wales briefly resumes public duties amid Kate's illness. So they say that he's staying at a hotel in London, probably a lot safer than staying at one of those properties. Yeah, probably a lot safer than staying at one of those properties. And then again, who knows? Harry may be already on his way back. They're saying that, but if he stayed for 45 minutes, and depending on what time he was there, what time do those flights usually leave? I don't know. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. It's hard to say. Let me see. Lossy Scott says, Baron, stop worrying so much about speaking negative things about this situation. Harry knows his father and how to handle him, and Harry's no fool. We just need to pray for Harry's safety. Well, thank you, Lossy Scott. Thank you for those wise words. Let me see. Let's see. Kim Peaches says Baron Harry was driven to uh, Buckingham Palace after the meeting with the king. Yes, they said that Harry. Wait, okay. Then I heard someone say, did he or did he not get on the helicopter? But it does seem like they saw him leave um, Sandringham. Not Sandringham, Clarence House, right? The king flew and Harry drove. And they both, no, Harry went, oh God, oh gosh, this is all, it's, ugh. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm telling you, this has been driving me crazy today. So, King's brave smile. There's Camilla and Charles. Well, one thing's for sure, and this is probably going to get on William's nerves, is the fact that when the meeting with Charles was over with, Charles and even Camilla seemed to be beaming after the visit, right? And there, of course, you can see the helicopter over Buckingham Palace. And I think the top right, that is Harry headed into the Clarence House gate. So let me see. King Charles really just wants to upset lazy Prince William by welcoming Harry back to royal work. Thank you, Tara Toy. You know what? You know what? They said, and I think you're onto something, because they said, and when I say they, I mean people in the Sussex squad, they were saying that the whole thing about Camilla coming and going from the hospital was as though they were trolling William, because William only went the one time and then he didn't go back, right? And so if there is a war between the two households, if there is friction, because as far as we know, William has not seen his father. William has not seen his father in who knows how long. He did not go to the hospital to see his father. He didn't go back to the hospital to see his wife. William has not been seen since that day he drove toward the hospital. Nobody has seen him. There's no public announcement of him being any place in particular. That is very strange. Yes, we know you want to make sure Kate is comfortable and well looked after, but 62 people on staff, surely somebody else could take up the slack. Thank you so much, Tara Toy. But yeah, that's I believe you're definitely onto something with that one. The idea that Charles wants to upset lazy William. Because I tell you guys, a lot of those articles that they were writing about how lazy William was and about how he needs to grow up and start taking on more responsibility, that I believe came from Charles. I believe that because, okay, the one article from Robert Jobson, everybody knows Robert Jobson wrote that book. Actually, I think Robert Jobson has written a couple of books for Charles. And the last book that he wrote about Charles, in that one, he talked about Willie's temper, how William had such a temper and how he could, you know, be very incandescent with rage. So a lot of times when they're afraid to confront one another, the houses of Windsor will brief through the press, like with the Queen worried about Kate. I don't believe the Queen went to the press and said, "Do this," but I think one of the courtiers understood the Queen's concerns and conveyed that to the tabloids, and the tabloids was like, "Okay, you're lazy. You got to get a job. You're lazy." Because it didn't come out just once or twice. That was a recurring theme in the tabloids. Is that the Queen thinks that Kate is lazy, because that was a brief to change the behavior, to make her more engaged with working toward the wedding day, instead of sitting idly around doing nothing and not having any sort of resume or CV that people could talk about. The only thing that she had going for her was that her parents owned the business. That's it. And at that age, not a good look. Not a good look. So I do believe that the queen conveyed her concerns and the courtiers passed it on. So that's my point, is that when they want to change a behavior, they will leak to the tabloids, just like when they want to drive their sibling and his wife out of the country, they will leak to, or in brief, the tabloids. Thank you, Tara. Very, very good point. Okay. So, Charles and his doctors are very, very positive. The king is said to be grateful his cancer was caught very early and his prognosis is good, with friends saying you wouldn't even know he had a condition. In news that will lift shocked nation. I don't believe it. Now, I do believe that Charles has a knack, or should I say, has a what is the word I'm looking for? He has this incredible attraction to cherry lip gloss, as evident by that photo. Charles seems to be one of the biggest fans of cherry lip gloss I've ever seen, especially for an adult male at or about 75 years old, that he would um, you know, openly and freely wear cherry lip gloss, even in his condition, I say is very brave, and he deserves all the respect in the world for his confidence to do that, because not all 75-year-old men in his situation would be seen wearing cherry lip gloss, but Charles don't care, and I'm going to celebrate that. You go. You go, Charles. Anyway, Judy Matasis says, do you think Kate was on life support till Harry? Whew. Ooh, Judy Matasis. You know, it that is what people have been saying, right? Is that Kate has been in a coma. Kate may have been on life support. Um, because of how vague they have been, it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. But that is one of the things that people have alleged, is that Kate, that they may have some big announcement about Kate, and that Kate will never, ever return to royal duty again. That would be, and okay. Let's go back and take a look at this, because if that were true, um, the smiling faces kind of seem out of place at that point. Not to say that, I mean, look at how they was hooping it up when the queen died. I mean, it wasn't long after the queen died that they were running around touching black people, lifting up black babies and everything. So it wouldn't be out of the question. They had that reception at Buckingham Palace, and I had never seen them so animated. So it wouldn't be impossible, right? Especially since, given how cold and aloof that family is, they don't seem to have a high regard for most people in this world. Um, so I'm going to say that it is a possibility that if indeed things are what they were saying with the Spanish magazine, because even without there being some conspiracy, some vast conspiracy amongst the courtiers and the royal family, it is possible that a healthy adult woman of Kate's age could go and have surgery and have some horrendous complication and never wake up from it. That is possible. That is possible. And until Kate returns, which they suggest should be after Easter, then we won't know. Because the one thing that we don't hear is any talk of Kate's progress. They're not saying that Kate is getting better. They're not saying what surgery Kate had. They're not saying anything. The only thing that we hear is that William will be at her side. And what makes sense is that what I'm talking about, what you just said, Judy, what makes sense about that, not to say that, there's even life support involved, but that she may be in a bad situation. What makes sense about that is that we have not seen William. Now, William said he's going to return to work soon to do investitures and to do something for air ambulance or whatever. But otherwise, no William. Why no William? I don't care how terrible things are for his family right now. It would be like if you were any other person with a great deal of responsibility and living a public life. You would still have to reassure the nation that the continuity of the monarchy is well intact. And you have to be seen to be believed. That's what Elizabeth said. You have to be seen to be believed. And so you have the country insecure about Charles's situation, right? About Charles III's situation. And then you disappear because your wife is gone. Both of you are gone. Your father is ill, leaving Camilla, Ford Fiesta, and um, and Princess Anne. Now, either something is terribly wrong that you cannot appear, or you're just taking advantage of the ability to take off from work or something. And that doesn't sound reasonable. But he's not seeing his father. And it seems as though Charles and Camilla are either trolling Will, exposing Will, trying to coerce him into doing something he doesn't want to do. I feel weird even saying that, because why would that be? Why would that even be? Why would something like that be a reality? But without them telling us exactly why William needs to be with Kate seemingly 24 hours a day, then what else could it be? That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I told you, I have been going back and forth with this all day, and I just don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. My head is spinning with possibilities. But thank you, Judy Matasset. Let's see. Is it Lizzie? Lizzie. What am I saying, Lizzie? Lizzie 34. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Did you have a follow-up? Judy says, you're nicer. I still say William Fitz help. Thank you so much, Judy Matasset. And we're rolling on the river. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. Left hook. Get away from me, Ike. Yeah, Judy, I just don't know. I don't know. And the reason why I'm having so much trouble with the concept of all of those things is that if that were true, how do they expect to get away with it? But knowing that family, would they care what people think? But how do they expect to pull this off? Within a short period of time, the slim down monarchy lost three key members, right? What is it? Eight of them, right? Eight. Um, Clarence House, Kensington Palace. Okay, so that's two, four. The Wessexes, right? And okay, seven. You got what's her name? Anne, right? So that's seven people. Shouldn't it be one more? Who am I missing? Oh well. So you have that seven or eight, whatever the number is, and you remove three of them just like that. And the explanations are so bizarrely confusing. These explanations are so big. They have such a hole in them, you could just drive an entire lorry through it and not even touch the sides. So if you're not given more detail, just like, let's go back to Charles. It's not cancerous. It's cancerous. It's not serious. Oh, Harry was there in less than, what, 12 hours, 24 hours? He was there less than 24 hours, but it's not serious. And then everybody seems to be wearing black. So there's a big announcement coming. There is going to be an announcement. There's got to be. There has to be something, whether it means the separation or end of a marriage, something is coming out. But okay, let's go back to Harry. What was so important about Harry being there if it's not that serious? There are three main ways that they have treated cancer for years: cut, burn, poison, right? Cut, burn, poison. And then, of course, now they have the immune therapy, right? So there's the new game changer is immune therapy. So cut, poison, burn, immune therapy. Um, I don't know how problematic the immune therapy is, but poisoning someone is going to make them feel really bad and weaken their constitution, right? And cutting it, how much did you take? Did you get it all? The point I'm trying to make is he is under what appears to be an aggressive treatment, seeing that they made such an incredible fast decision to go and start treating him. But if he knew that he had cancer already, then that means that he lied to give cover to Kate, who received no flowers, and let's just say no visitors. She wasn't seen entering the hospital. She wasn't seen leaving the hospital. Her mother was not at the hospital. Her siblings did not go. The only person aside from William who supposedly had went to see her was Charles. And that is why people are not buying this. That is why. That is why people are not buying this. That is why. Because there's too many holes in the story. They are doing this themselves. There are too many holes in the story. And they're saying that the cancer is what let me go back to that. Or is it forward? Yeah, right there, right there. Thank you, Judy. Charles and his doctors are very, very positive The king is said to be grateful his cancer was caught very early, and his prognosis is good, with friends saying you wouldn't even know he had a condition. In news that will lift shocked nation. If they were only going to look at his prostate, right, because he had an enlarged prostate, that's not an emergency. It did not require a big announcement. They could have treated him, and then if they found something, then make the announcement. But of course, they're going with this angle that it was a public health thing and that he wanted to, I guess, be an example to other men. Fine, fine. But if Camilla goes to open up a cancer center and she already knows that he has cancer, but she hasn't said anything, how long ago did you know you had cancer? Did you only mention it because Kate needed cover? Is that the only reason why you mention it? Is because Kate needed cover? You tell people 90 minutes after Kate's announcement, but it's not an emergency, it's not urgent, it's elective. And then, of course, that whole cock and bull story about, well, he went to the same hospital as Kate to save the taxpayers money. This is the man who just been up and down in his helicopter all day today, like he does every day. That's not a person that's worried about saving the taxpayers' money. This is the man who had that hundreds and something £1 million coronation, unnecessary coronation, unnecessary pomp and circumstance. It didn't do anything to bring more tourism or nothing, but he did it anyway. Can't be that worried about the cost to the public. Otherwise, you'd have paid for it yourself. You'd have sold it to some sponsors. Oh man, you guys, I'm sorry if I'm making this even worse and more confusing, but I am just troubled with the details. And by bringing Harry into it, now not only does the details bother me, but now I have to worry about Harry. Judy Matasis says Harry was coming for the funeral, but uh, they wanted sympathy before the announcement. They know people will be upset. William is hiding his guilt, allegedly. Thank you, Judy Matasis. You know, at this point, I have to say, they just cannot make an announcement like that anytime soon. They shouldn't. I mean, I hope not. As a matter of fact, I hope that there's nothing like that wrong in the first place. But it's going. I feel concerned for them because of how sloppy this is. This is very sloppy. Whatever it is they're trying to not tell us, this is very, very sloppy. They could not want publicity. They could not want engagement that much that they would have, um, you know, who knows how many people going back and forth like we are right now, trying to figure out what's the angle. What is the angle? What are they pulling? What type of okey doke is this? Because that's what it does seem like. It seems like that they're lying about something. Let's see. Archie's auntie said, didn't Queen Elizabeth die of cancer as well as her father? Yeah, it seems like it runs in the family, doesn't it? It really does seem like it runs in the family at this point, and not from uh, Philip's side. Perhaps maybe it's the Queen's side of the family. Well, wait a minute. Well, yeah, maybe it's the Queen's side of the family. I had to think about that for a second. But with all of the inbreeding and such. cousins and everything. But yeah, yeah. And they didn't tell the people that the queen had cancer. It took medical professionals to do the, you know, do the math, if you will. And of course, there's no official word that she had cancer, but given the type of treatments that she had, given the appearance that she was having, and if you're going to walk around with purple hands and such, and all of the signs of intravenous use, I don't know why they just couldn't tell people. I mean, at least after the fact, but still, there's no official word. But bone cancer is the only thing that makes sense. Thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, let me look at that again. Harry was coming for the funeral, but wanted sympathy. But they wanted sympathy before the announcement. Yeah, but then I, uh, and this is all alleged, of course. But then I don't know. I don't want to see Harry pulled into something like this. But maybe they thought they had a valid reason to do everything the way that. I mean, until we know whatever it is, maybe they believe there's a valid reason for all of this cloak and dagger, international spy type of secrecy. But like I say, it bothers me. I feel like Columbo. It bothers me. Let me see. They knew Charles III had cancer, but guilt Harry to come over for PR stunt to torture him, and that's uh, Cal goes and buy a Rolex. Clever girl. Every dog has her day. Mm. One more time. They knew Charles III had cancer, but guilt Harry into coming over for PR stunt to torture him, and that cow goes and buy a Rolex. Clever girl. Every dog has a day. Oh, so Camilla just purchased a Rolex? Huh. Anyway, thank you, Legs. Legs, I'm inclined to believe that they knew that Charles had the cancer. I am so. Remember when what day was that he went into the hospital? Do you remember when I showed that photo of Charles going into the hospital looking absolutely terrified? Looking absolutely terrified. And remember I said for someone going for a routine operation, why does his face look so horrible? Let me see if I can find that. King Charles arrives at London clinic. Okay, okay. I am going to show you. I'm going to show you. I am going to show you so you all won't think that I'm just exaggerating. I am going to show you the picture. I'm going to show you the picture. He looked like he was going to face the executioner. He had a complete look of horror on his face when he arrived for that appointment or for his stay. And then Camilla comes out grinning like some kind of lunatic. God, what day was that? That was January 26th, right? Let me see. Let me see. Anyway, I want to share you the photo. Give me just a second. I'm so glad you said that, Lex, because it just reminded me about that photo. And I said at the time that I thought for somebody who's going through something so routine, why does he look petrified? Like he had saw a ghost. This is not a man going for a routine anything. This is someone who is concerned about their mortality. Oh Lord, the photo won't open. Okay, give me a second. I know what to do. Recent. Yep. Let me in there. Okay. Oh no, not that one. There we go. Okay. This is never just cut and dry. It always takes me a minute to do this. But okay, let me try it again. Should work this time. Okay. Now tell me if you don't see what I'm seeing. For somebody who's going for something very routine, the look of horror on this man's face says different. Okay, it's buffering like crazy. Give it a second. Oh, there we go. There you go. That is the man going for a very routine prostate, whatever. That is the man going for a very routine prostate something, right? Looks routine to me. That look of horror on his face says routine procedure. Nothing to look at here, folks. It's just a routine procedure. The fact that I look like the Grim Reaper is staring down my throat is of no consequence because this is all quite routine. So don't worry about it. I'm not worried, and you shouldn't either. Told you. Told you. I mean, that came back to mind. And then, too, with I thought, well, maybe the royal rodents were just blowing smoke when they were making such a big fuss about, and I still believe that they were just making a big fuss about Harry and Meghan going to Jamaica, right? But then again, it's not to say that some of them don't know better. At least a couple of them may know better. Who knows? Maybe they know something, maybe they don't. But yeah, for someone going for something routine, that does not seem like, I mean, if the doctor told me I was going for something routine, as many times as I've had procedures done, as many times if I've been in and out of a hospital or whatever, I wouldn't be worried about it for something like that, especially if going into it they say, well, it's non-cancerous, it's just a routine procedure, but every man needs to be checked. Okay, fine, fine. Every man needs to be checked. It's very routine, nothing to worry about then, right? So why does Charles look like that? Yeah. Why does he look like that? So that's what that's why I say this thing just has too many variables. It's too many things that seem otherwise. So I don't know what to say. Thank you, Legs. Let me see here. We haven't seen since her revelation. Let me see. Let me think about this. Now, who is AL? Since her revelation and invoking, huh? I'm so sorry. And I know I should know what AL is. AL. Um, mm, AL. Why is my mind stuck? AL. Okay. I'm going blank. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh, okay. Let me go to the next slide. So brief reunion. Smiles arrives at Sandringham at 16:20. 13:35, Charles and Camilla leave for Sandringham. Yeah, I see that. 14:45, Harry enters Clarence house. Oh, okay. Oh, Angel 11. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, now let me. What I forgot what the question was, or what the comment was. Okay, I got to go back to it. Angela 11. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while, so that's why I'm just like, who? What? Okay. Ah. And invoking, okay, when she mentioned Diana about William and Kate. Okay, I remember that. And we haven't seen her since. Oh. Oh. Ow. That is right. That is, you get a bell for that. You get a bell for that. I did not realize. I did not realize. But you're so right. I have not seen or heard from 11 ever since she opened her big mouth. Yep, ever since she opened her big mouth. Let me go and look at the let me see here. Huh, she hasn't blocked me on Twitter. Okay, it looks like 7 hours ago she was on GB News. Prince Harry doesn't like compromise anymore. He is determined to apologize. I'm sorry, to get apologies from King Charles for not treating Meghan properly. Meghan would be absolutely furious if Harry became good with his father because she's a destroyer. I suppose that's a quote from Angela Levin. Yeah, because Meghan is a destroyer. God, that woman is sick. Sick, sick woman. She is sick. She really is sick. Her twisted mind. It's beyond just being a big liar, but she has a very sick, warped, twisted mind. Okay, here's some more of Harry at the airport. I'm telling you, there's a flood of videos and photos of Harry at Heathrow. Um, and I do believe this is arriving, not leaving. Um, and truthfully, there were so many videos and images of Harry at the airport. That's why I thought he had left already, because I'm just like, I see something new compared to what I saw earlier in the day, and I thought he was leaving. I'm still not convinced that he's still in London. Okay, my apologies. Needed to drink some water. Yes, that was Angela 11. So the 28-day notice has been blown to smithereens. Yeah, Harry don't need that 24-day notice anymore. Okay, so I do have a sound bite for you guys from what's his name? Jeremy Vine. Jeremy Vine. Let me play this little sound bite. Trigger warning. I forgot what it was about already. Oh my goodness. Cloud Nugget has gone there. Let me see what Cloud Nugget has put here. Cloud Nugget has a blank headstone. Cloud Nugget has a photo. Let me see right here. It says, I'm just going ahead and call it Rest in Peace, Karen. I will fill in the words on the headstone when the announcement is made. Your mumbling will sadly be missed. Wow. Wow. And someone else commented the media blackout on the 28th December hospital trip, the lack of effort in the hospital loving husband pretense, the silence since reporter on coma story doubled down, Something is definitely going on. Let's hope it isn't this. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, I will be very I would be upset. I would be upset. All differences aside, I would be very bothered by that. I would be very bothered by that. Um, Anything as bizarre and mysterious as what people are speculating is disturbing. And that's why I say my mind keeps telling me it can't be true, because how could, if there is something shady going on, how could anybody expect to get away with it? But yeah, the Twitter, I'm telling you, Twitter today was a buzz and I couldn't stop looking at it. Anne Boleyn says, I'm always, always, always going to support the decisions Harry and Meghan made for their own make for their own lives, about their own family. Hear, hear. And someone else said, I'm glad Harry went so that he can be free of any regret he may have felt about not going, and hopefully he's at peace with the fact that illness won't change Charles and Kate into better people. Ouch. Ouch. Ooh. Mm. Y'all, I'm going to be up all night. You know that, don't you? I am going to be up all night looking at stuff. Can't help it. This is fascinating. This is fascinating. And I keep saying to myself, maybe it's just much to do about nothing. And by the time, if there is a big announcement, if there is, then we'll all look back at it and just, be like, oh, well, it wasn't such a big deal after all. But Harry rushing over there like that, maybe about Charles, but possibly about um, Kate. And here's a big what if something is terribly wrong at Adelaide Cottage and William just refuses to speak to anyone? And so, to get the pressure off of William, they make the announcement that he is going to resume some duty, but still, family comes first. That's what the oh, you know what? I forgot, y'all. I'm supposed to play this sound bite. I'm so sorry. I didn't went past it and back again. I'm so sorry. Let me do the sound bite. Oh boy, I'm telling you, I gotta I gotta stop thinking about this stuff.
I was thinking that when this news first broke, how useful would it be to have Harry and even Meghan in the royal family at this very point in time? I think everything that happened with them was such a missed opportunity. And I was having some thoughts yesterday when I heard the news that Prince Harry was flying over to come and see his father, the King. And I just felt that it was such a shame that he didn't want to take this opportunity to bring Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet with him so they could spend some time with their grandfather, who was very seriously ill. Obviously, there's been some bad blood between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family, but I do actually think it's a bit cruel to separate a grandfather from their grandchildren for no apparent reason, it was.
Well, and the Queen, in a way, died without seeing very much of her great-grandchildren. Kathleen is in the West Midlands. Kathleen, your thoughts?
My thoughts are that definitely it is wonderful news that Harry is coming to see his father, and that at this time, I think, yes, an awful lot has been said and a lot of hurtful things have been said, but this is a time now where they can have a get-together, they can talk about it. Again, I agree with the gentleman that said about him Charles not being able to see his grandchildren. The point is, those children are going to grow up one day, and they're going to start asking questions. Why weren't we allowed to go and see Grandad? Why is it that, and I think that's what they forget. But it would be wonderful for Meghan, because Meghan could have done such a lot for the royal family in respect of she could have been working for children of mixed race, black children. She could have done such a lot. She could have made that she was given, I believe, patron to the theatre, which is what she understands and knows about. She could have.
Okay. Okay, so that's that.
Do you know, Jeremy, I was thinking that when this news first broke.
Now, let me just say, the gentleman who's wearing the red shirt there, that's the one who was saying for no apparent reason. Now, either you've been living under a rock or you're just stupid. There is an apparent reason. Because of the volatile, incendiary language that has been used against the Sussexes time and time again, and in particular, the very racist and misogynistic language that has been used against Meghan time and time again, and the lack of security. That is why Charles has not met his grandchildren. And until you straighten it out, you will never see your grandchildren. Now, I'm pretty sure that BA has several flights a day that go from London to Los Angeles. Unless you want to get on one of those planes or take one of your own, you will never see those kids. I'm pretty sure there is an invitation available to him, but those kids are not going over there without adequate security. There are white supremacists that have referred to Harry as a race traitor. There has been conversations about the black blood in that family, that African blood. No, they're not coming. And for this person who appears to be of mixed heritage to say something as stupid as that for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason? Well, we see why he's on the show. And as for the caller, they're not much better. I don't know why these people do not recognize a threat when it is present. Or are they in such a bubble? Are they so aloof, so removed from reality that they don't understand what a threat is? You know, I still remember Jodie Foster and what's his name? Hinkle. You know, what about John Lennon? What about a lot of people? You don't know who's out there. And in this day and age, when it's so much easier to come and go and to find the whereabouts of people, you know, when you post a picture, you have to cover up the license plate because someone can find you using public records. So, you know, to play naive or to just, you know, I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't know where he comes from or where he comes up with that. But those children, their safety is paramount. Nothing is more important than those children's safety. And that goes for all of the children. That goes for George and Charlotte and Louis as well. That goes for everybody. You know, it's not limited to this child or that child. There's all of those children. They deserve the protection that they deserve. And it's only because of jealousy that they want to keep the Sussexes away from the UK. That's what it is. But, you know, it's starting to make more sense to me that perhaps they were trying to figure out some kind of way to get Harry and Meghan to help out. They do need them. They do need them. If not Meghan and Harry, but Harry. They do need the help. They really do, because they're unless Charles wants to hand out titles to people, You know, he can confer titles onto whomever he chooses, unless he wants to hand out some titles to people and get them in there working. I'm talking some of the extended royals. Then he needs his other son. He needs his um, dare I say, most important son. No slight to William, but Harry is the most capable, and everybody knows it. Even the people who want to hate on him all the time, they know better. And nobody plays stupid better than Jeremy Vine. Nobody plays ignorant, dense, and act like a big blubberhead better than Jeremy Vine. Jeremy Vine has a black belt in naivety. He does. He can play stupid but with the best of them. He's so naive and so gullible until somebody is threatening his life, and then all of a sudden everything falls into place, doesn't it? Everything falls into place when his life was threatened, when he was being stalked, when he had someone saying disparaging things about him online, then all of a sudden he understood. But when he's on his show with the other people paid to be there, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand why. Why would they fly their children 14 hours for a 30-minute sit down to be harassed? They want them there for the media obligations, not for love. Here, here. Thank you, Legs. Very well said. That's it. The media want them there. Charles doesn't want them there. Charles doesn't care about those kids. He barely cares about his two adult children. He don't care about those grandkids. This whole thing about the grandkids, Charles does not have it in him to worry about those grandkids. He put on a good show when he was sitting in the grandstand that day, and he was able to calm Louis down. But other than that, you don't see Charles going out of his way to interact with children when he's doing a walkabout. How often do you always see Camilla sitting down with children? You see Kate sitting down with children. You have never seen Charles sit at a table with somebody else's child. Ever. It doesn't happen because he's not interested in that. He don't care about any child. See what I mean? He doesn't care about any child. That's why that is so silly. This whole idea, oh, he won't see his grandchildren. And I heard one of those talking heads earlier saying how important his grandchildren were in his life. Well, your name isn't Charles Philip Arthur George Mountbatten-Windsor, now is it? If that was your name, you wouldn't give a rat's behind about grandkids. Charles is not equipped like that. God, that gets on my nerves. Thank you, Legs. So there's Clarence House. That is where the Queen Mother used to live. And of course, I believe for a short time, Philip and Lizzie lived there, didn't they? Didn't they make that into their own? And I think they had just had it the way they wanted it. And then, her father died. And anyway, so that's Clarence House. You don't see many photos of it. It's not really easy to photograph because of the way it's set among the other properties there. But that's Clarence House. And Charles is crazy about Clarence House. He has no use for Windsor, and he does not care for Buckingham Palace. Probably have a lot of bad memories from those places. But yeah, so that's the Clarence House. I don't have no idea how big that place is. But God, it's probably got 4 floors and a working cellar. So who knows? Now, Princess Royale, nonstop day of engagements. Give me a break. So they want Princess Anne to look like a big action figure, like she's Princess Anne Barbie or something like that. So, y'all, I'm telling you, they must be making a lot of money over at the Daily Mail because they got graphics galore. Do you see what I'm saying? They got graphics galore. Anne is doing an investiture. Let me see. What does that say? Princess Anne leaves her house at. I know that's not catacomb, but why does the name of her house look like it's called the catacombs? I mean, I know sometimes Anne looked like she crawled out of a catacomb, but the catcomb or whatever it is, that must be Latin for hair pick, huh? That's what it is. The name of her house is Latin for hair pick. Yeah, the name of her house, I believe, is Latin for hair pick. Anyway, so Anne crawled out of the catacomb um, by helicopter and flies to Windsor to undertake an investiture. There she is. And then after that, she went to jumps on helicopter to Nottinghamshire, meets occupational therapists at Nottingham West Primary Care Network. Uh huh. And then the Princess Royal visits G.H. Hart and Sons, which specialize in luxury knitted shawls. This is supposed to be work. She is president of UK's fashion and textile. You know what? I almost let out an expletive. I'm glad I caught myself. And then what happened after that? Action Ann. Yeah, she ain't Afro Annie no more. Now she's Action Ann, the action figure. Then she lands at Kensington Palace and is driven to St. James Palace, arrives short change and downtime, 7 p.m., driven to Science Museum. Well, you know what? If I was using a helicopter, I think I could probably do that myself. Arrives at Science Museum, hands out Queen Elizabeth Prize for engineering, an honor presented by King Bucking at Buckingham Palace last year. Departs museum after giving a speech. Arrives back at St. James Palace. Okay, I think she has an office at Buckingham Palace. I don't know about St. James Palace. But yeah, so that was Anne's day. And they want you all to believe that this is Anne's every day. Anne does this every day. 3 outfits, 407 miles in 11 hours. And then we won't see her for about 2 weeks. Cat Harlem says Harry and Meghan have been gone for 4+ years. The working royals should have figured out how to cover for each other by now. Here, here. Yeah, that ain't their problem. Oh, you like that, Helene? Action Ann? Yeah, that's Action Ann, the action figure. Uh-huh. Action Ann, y'all. Action Ann. I love the graphics though. They really make it seem like she did something. That is an impressive day for somebody her age. I'm not going to lie about that. That is an impressive day. I'm just saying it was all made easy with the use of a helicopter. God, I hope not. I don't want Harry to get caught up in the mess of that Commonwealth. I think that would be a trap. That I know is a trap. So Anne must have went to see The Color Purple, and maybe Anne thought that she could relate better to people if she looked like she was fixing to shave Mister. So she went and put purple on. Look at the tassels on her boots. I'm not sure exactly what was going on here, but this is one of the costume changes that she had today. Action Anne in purple. Oh, that's the purple jacket right there. But then she changed the outfit underneath. Well, she's not wearing black. She's not wearing black, although purple is the color of mourning, I think. But, look at Action Anne, the action figure. She's even posed like an action figure, ain't she? Like she's about to judo chop somebody, right? See how she posing? And that's not a bouquet of flowers. That is a Uzi. Yeah. What looks like a flower is actually a little actually it's a short bat. It's a little club in there. In case somebody starts something, she can kind of club them over their head. Uh-huh. That's it. You think she about to hit you upside your head with some flowers, but inside is something that's comparable to a lead pipe. Action and action and action and. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, action and. I could see her coming on Saturday morning cartoons. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's action and. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, action and. Action Annie. So, Princess Anne thrills as she conducts busy day of engagements, leaving locals grinning as she goes about her duties. Princess Anne is thrilled in Nottingham as she visits a primary care center in Eastwood. Well, she'd be looking at people like Clint Eastwood. She left locals who were peering through their windows, grinning with joy as they looked on in delight at the working royal. Oh, God, who wrote this? Pairing a striking purple check coat and a matching skirt and scarf, the Princess Royale clutched a bouquet as she talked with those working at the medical center at the end of her visit. Action Anne! Action Anne! Lex says, does she wear the knuckle dusters under the gloves? Yes, she has a knuckle dusters under the glove. She's actually come up with a system where if she squeezes her palm really hard, the knuckle dusters actually pop through the leather. So no problem with that. Oh, man. And you know what? Even if they are supposed to be wearing black, nobody tells Anne what to do. So the best way to get Anne to wear black is to tell her not to wear it. The best way to not get her in black is to tell her that she better wear black. So, oh well. That's amazing. You see that big guy in front of her, and yet Anne looks more formidable than any royal protection officer. So here we go. How King Charles has slimmed down the monarchy down by half. 2017, you got 18 working royals in 2017. Well, actually, yeah, that's a little bit in error because they got Meghan there. Meghan ain't supposed to be there until 2018. Prince Edward, Sophie, Princess Anne, Meghan, that is Princess Meghan, Prince Harry, the Queen cohort, Charles, the Queen, Prince Philip, Andrew the Sick Old Man, Lazy Kate, Prince William, Princesses Eugenie, Beatrice, Duke of Kent, Duke of Gloucester, Duchess of Gloucester, and Princess Alexandra. And fast forward to today, 2024. Edward, Sophie, Anne, Camilla, Charles, Kate, William, Gloucester, Gloucester. So let me see here. You could pretty much just eliminate the Gloucesters because nobody knows who they are, and nobody knows what they do. So you can eliminate them. So that's 7. Okay. William can't work because Kate ain't working. That's 6. Kate ain't working because of what William may or may not have done. Okay, so that's 5. Charles ain't working because ain't nothing wrong with him, but yet something is. And that just leaves the 4 of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take that back because Edwina is not working for some unknown, undisclosed reason. So there's just 3 working royals right now. Just 3. So when I tell you what, when Charles slims down the monarchy, he slims it down. I know I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. Okay. Jean Velatus. Okay. He is describing he's describing what the royal family does. Wave a lot. Cut ribbons. Dress up like the Tooth Fairy. See number 1. Rip off English taxpayers for his money and real estate. And again, wave a lot. And that's all you need to be a royal. That's Charles right there. Wave a lot, cut ribbons, dress up like a Tooth Fairy. See number 1. Rip off. Honestly, I don't get to see number 1. Rip off English taxpayer for his money and real estate. And again, waves a lot. Well, somebody's got their number. Oh, boy. Everything's going to be all right, sir. Everything's going to be all right, sir. Listen, you all, take my advice. If Paddington Bear ever takes your hand and tries to take you for a walk, don't go. I would not go for a walk with Paddington Bear. Walking off with Paddington Bear could be the last thing you ever do. You know why I say that? Oh, thank you, Susie Q. So that's okay. He's saying it 3 times. Thank you. Okay, here's a good reason not to walk off with Paddington Bear. Isn't that what the Queen did? I've done my duty, Paddington. Please take me to my husband. The last time I saw this sketch, it was the Queen walking off with Paddington Bear. So if I was Charles, I would find out whoever made this sketch and I would banish them from the country. You do not sketch me with Paddington Bear. That's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Never put me in the same space with Paddington Bear. And of course, never shake hands with Liz Truss. The last time somebody shook hands with her, Well, we know what happened. So this is another thing I would suggest to Charles. Stop shaking hands with Lizzie. Liz Truss is not to be trusted. Got to stop shaking hands with her. Now, think ahead. I'm sorry. I think heads just exploded. This piece is in the mail. Is Prince Harry's return to duty the only way to boost the roster of working royals? He and Meghan have their critics, but they're the only younger family members cancer stricken King Charles can call on with experience of public service. When asked whether the prince would need to pick up the king's public duties, the palace source says it was anticipated. Let me say that one more time. When asked whether the prince would need to pick up the king's public duties, a palace source said it was anticipated that he will only return to public duty once the Princess of Wales has settled in for recuperation at home. So although they would not use the same phrase as Prince Harry's generational pain, this is a king and prince mindful that the generation can do better. When King Charles' own mother became queen, age 25, when he was 3, theirs was a life devoted to duty. Long absences, overseas tours, life based around a nursery with beloved nannies and being sent away to school were his formative experiences. So William may have a couple of engagements coming up, but he's not exactly returning to work. Okay? I think that's just to shut people up. I think he's just trying to shut down the criticism. It was very reckless and irresponsible for William to declare that he was taken off from work because of Kate. I don't see how that's logical. If he was a civilian, right? If he was a civilian, if he wasn't on his way to the throne, I would say, yeah, that makes sense. Stay home. But unless you're willing to divulge whatever it is that she's, suffering, then how do you make the case that I'm just going to stay home until she's comfortable and recuperated? If she's indeed coming back in after Easter, then you should know full well that she's on the mend, but they won't say she is. That's curious that they won't say that she's how she's recovering. They don't give any progress report. So you can see here, William and his grimace on his face. I was just sharing that because I love that picture. But you can see him with that grimace on his face as the article was talking about Spare. Um, there's a lot of things that has been said in Spare, and Charles was not really on the menu. It was to a greater extent William, and to a lesser extent Camilla. Right? I think that William was the one who got it the worst, and deservedly so. He got what he deserved. He got his comeuppance. They wanted to continue to brief and leak against the Sussexes unabated for as long as they felt necessary, and they weren't expecting Harry to answer them. Well, he did. He can, he could, and he did. And so now that that is out there, the impact that Spare, the docuseries, among other things, the Oprah Winfrey interview, That family has been tainted forever. That family has been tainted forever because I don't care what you say. A prince of the blood, a prince of the blood told his truth, and there were a lot of people that were listening. There's a lot of people that believe them. So when they say that the Sussex children may have questions why we didn't spend more time with our grandpapa and all that kind of stuff, you know what? The answer is what was that the guy said? What was the guy? The guy said number three, no, number four, see number one. Well, it's the same thing for the Sussex children. Why you didn't spend more time with your grandpa? See the docuseries. Why didn't we spend more time with grandpa? Read Spare. Okay. Why didn't we watch the Oprah Winfrey interview? That's why. It's on the record. It's on the record. And no matter what they say or what they do, they will not be able to rewrite that history. Harry has given a full account up until a point. He has given a full account of everything that he needed to say at that time. And in the future, when there's time to say more, he will say more. Now, whether he'll do it now or later, that is his option. But if I was them, I would leave him alone. Stop briefing, stop leaking, stop encouraging the tabloid media to target them. As a matter of fact, apologize. Harry wants an apology to his wife. It was such an unbelievable statement by the heir to the throne. Leave a absence to care for a wife with a household of medical staff, nannies, parents. Irresponsible is the word. Yeah, it was very, very irresponsible. It just did not make sense. It's as though um, there's an inch of snow outside. Okay, let's say you live in Chicago and there's an inch of snow, and all of a sudden you declare, I'm taking off for the rest of the week. Matter of fact, I'm going to take off for the foreseeable future. If it was 3 inches of snow, you have no reason to take off because the streets will be clear in the morning, I promise you. That ain't the way it is in other places. In other places, an inch of snow is a disaster. But in Chicago, it's just like, what snow? Because by morning, it's been removed. So you have no right to just call off unless there is a message from the mayor's office or something like that. You don't just take off. You prepare to go to work as normal. Unless the schools are closed, you go to work as normal. And guess what? Even if the schools are closed, you still probably have to go to work. See what I'm saying? Um, most places don't accept excuses like that. But William just threw that out there because he could, as though he had something to hide. And it seems as though Charles and Camilla has been trolling the Cambridges as though they are trying to hide something, as if they're trying to shake William into to the point where he will do the right thing. Whatever that right thing is, it seems as though he is being sent a message that the cover up is worse than whatever you're hiding. You're covering up something, and it's much worse than whatever you're hiding. That's what it sounds like. Yep. It sounds like he's covering up something, and that will make it worse than whatever has happened. So, very strange. I have to say, this is still very, very strange. Oh, is Rohini here? Well, hi, Rohini, if you are here. Okay, let me go to the next one. Oh, not that one. Oh yeah. So let's say that the worst happens, right? What happens to Gladys when Charles is not there to protect her? Charles has probably worked very hard to tie whatever loose ends necessary so that Camilla's life does not become a living hell, right? He has to do that. Whether or not he has children with Camilla, um, it does not matter. Whatever children she have is going to need to be protected by whatever language has gone into whatever documents that Charles has put together for Camilla and her family and his family, which may be his family too. But yeah, because I think that people are afraid of William. They know that he's unstable. I said that about a week ago. Before any of this came out, I said that he and Kate were not fit for purpose and that people know that they cannot handle that work. They tried to send Kate over to Denmark so that she could somehow pick up what needs to be done from Mary, who was Crown Princess Mary. Now she's Queen Mary of Denmark. They were hoping that some of Mary's stardust, some of her capability would rub off on Kate. That is incredibly optimistic, considering who Kate is and everything that she certainly is not capable of. But but they sent her over there anyway. And let me refresh your tea about this. They were working very hard to demonstrate that Will and Kate are independent, are moving to be independent of one another. Remember that? They were saying that they will probably go out and do a lot of these things by themselves and without each other, which is usually the only way that William could get noticed is with Kate. And so it seems as though they wanted to make sure, or at least test to see if people would accept William. Remember, sexy William, sexy bald head William, William, without Kate. Well, the results were mixed. And aside from that New York visit, which was a disaster, um, it hasn't been going so well for him. I wonder why. And this must be like an old picture. I don't know how old this is, but William seems to have a little more hair. And you notice he gives that same look when he's in the car with Kate. He always looks to the camera just like that. Anytime he's in the car with Kate, before the car can pull off, he gives that look like, God, I wish I was anyplace else. God, I wish I was anyplace else. Which reminds me, let me see here. Oh God, and it slipped my mind just that fast. Oh God, what was I looking for? Well, I know it was something William. Let me see if this will jar my memory. Nope. 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 Oh, yeah. This is it.
Yeah, I've been messing around today. I've been Belfast this morning.
And of course, William is not popular in Scotland. I can tell you now, Charles is far more popular in Scotland than William is. Charles is popular because of the oh God, what house is that? The God, I should know. I went there, didn't I? Well, you know, that house there. He's very popular because of that. Also, Charles wears the kilt. Do you guys know that William never wears the kilt? I think he may have worn a kilt one time, but he was in Scotland where he will be king, and he refused to wear the kilt. Was going to do it. That is totally, totally disrespectful. Over the 70 years that Charles has been waiting to be king, he has worn kilts uh, more often than not while in Scotland, and William refuses to do it. That is not doing him any favor. He's going to be a very, very unpopular king. And the only thing that he had going for him is Kate. I don't know how he will survive being king without Kate. And that's got to have a lot of people worried. And that the courtiers that he's hired, they are not doing him a favor. I don't want Dumfries House. Thank you. You know, I went there in 18, and that name just left me. But yeah, Dumfries House. Thank you so much, and thank you, Hazel Jones. Helene, thank you. Legs. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but yeah, he is going to be a disaster. And then, of course, thanks to Cloud Nugget, um, you know, from a distance, Camilla almost seems human. But up close, you can see how Charles actually had to go over to the stable so that he could remind her that it was time to go to church. So thank you, Cloud Nugget, for this very authentic photo of Camilla. You know, people said they don't live together. And, you know, they always say smart people never share the same bed. So when they say that Camilla has hit the hay, they mean literally Camilla has hit the hay. For Charles, it's probably just an expression, but for Camilla, well, it's just life. Oh Lord, you guys, Cloud Nugget is a squatty on Twitter, and Cloud Nugget has come up with some doozies, and this is my new favorite. This has got to be my new favorite. Who knew? See, whoever took that picture must have that new iPhone that has that amazing zoom. Yeah, whoever took that photo must have that new iPhone. Oh man, gotta love it. Okay, you guys, on a more serious note, free shipping over $47. Clever blend. Don't forget that the Clever Blend is now available in the Target stores. You can order it from Amazon. So if you haven't gotten your Clever Blend on and you've been itching to try it, at the Target, the package is much smaller, which makes it more affordable for people who don't want to invest that much money into something that you're not sure of. It just makes sense. So hopefully one of these days they'll come out with like a sampler pack where you can try everything. That would be very cool. But in the meantime, the packages at the at the Target store is smaller. Also, the official sports of Invictus Games, Vancouver Whistler 2025 are course sports, indoor rowing, sitting volleyball, swimming, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, debuting winter sports, alpine skiing, snowboarding, biathlon, Nordic skiing, skeleton, wheelchair curling. Oh, curling is when they have that big stone and they be brushing the ice and stuff. So there you go. That's what you could expect from the Invictus Games. Meanwhile, at a sanitarium somewhere in Switzerland, I think this is also a cloud nugget. Meanwhile, at a sanitarium somewhere in Switzerland, I added the caption myself. Fun, right? Okay, you guys, I think that should just about do it. Yes, we are done. We are done. That was splendid. I will stay and look at a few more of your comments before I go. But pray for the Sussexes, pray for Harry. And if you're so inclined, pray for Charles and Camilla and William and Kate and the kids. They're all people too, and they're human. Even if you pray that they get everything that they deserve in terms of humanity, being human and such. I won't tell you how to pray or what to pray for. I know it's gonna be tough, but especially for the Sussexes because the last time they had a rollout, we know what happened. And this seems so hauntingly like deja vu. It just, as soon as we started hearing stuff, I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. So good night, everyone. I am done for today. Love you guys. I'm so glad you stopped by. Thank you all for your super chats and super stickers. Greatly appreciated. And thank you for your memberships to Royal Sussex. Yes, very, very sweet. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for trusting me to do this work. That is always, always important to me. And it's very important to the success of Royal Sussex. Remember to frequent these Sussex friendly spaces everywhere, especially now, because we don't know what's going on. And by us having a community, I can't help but think that helps to protect our faves because they're going to need it. Whatever happens, they go out of their way to try to find some way to blame the Sussexes, accusations and such. They have accused Meghan of some terrible things, none of which are true. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm referring to. William put his paws on Kate. Royal family is finished. Let me see. That's all everyone is speculating. I don't know what happened, but the wives of 3 senior royals all went into mental crisis. Just saying. Oh, that is so true, Monte Cristo. That is so true. What a coincidence. 3, because of the pressure, because of whatever, not just the pressure, but there seems to be a lot of shady stuff that just seems to keep happening. Oh, Lorna Williams, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and you guys that have been supporting Royal Sussex with your comments, with your likes and your shares and subscriptions, all of those things are equally important to the success of this channel. So I do thank you for it. And I promise you guys, I don't take anything for granted. Not a thing. Yeah, not even the YouTube, because you know how fickle they can be, and at any given time anything could happen. So um, we just have to make sure that we do our best every day and be true to our ourselves. I mean, sometimes you have to take risks in order to be yourself, but it is necessary because I don't want to avoid saying everything just for the sake of it. Some things just need to be said, and it's not without risk, but I think it's important, especially when your spirit says that you need to talk about it. You probably need to talk about it, but there's a way to say everything. So I don't think that anybody in the Sussex squad has been careless per se, but they're pretty bad over on the deranger side. Wow, so we had about 2,000 people tonight. Let me see, how many likes did we have? How many likes did we have? Okay. Oh, I don't see the likes. Oh well, no matter. Do you guys know that we're only like 400 subscribers away from 51,000? The numbers are still growing, which is encouraging. That is so encouraging. I feel encouraged. Yeah, okay. Oh, Sussex Love, you're welcome very much. Thank you for being here. Oh, and I know yesterday, I meant to talk about this. I know yesterday that there was some confusion about comments that were made. You guys, sometimes there is a language barrier, not just for the person making comment, but for the person who reads it. Plus, we all have our own sense of humor and such. But before you question someone's intention, please read the comments carefully. Um, Sometimes I say things that are incredibly sarcastic, and I have seen in the comments where people have, people that watch the Sussex Squad every day, they would tell me, why would you say that? They don't get the sarcasm, or they don't think it's funny, or they don't think it should be said. And, there's a, there, there could be someone who's a little tone deaf, or maybe it could be perceived as offensive or otherwise. But I tell you, I need to laugh. I need to laugh at life. I need to laugh at people, especially people I don't like. It is my way of coping, and I like to share that with people. I love to make people happy. I like to make people laugh, especially when there is painful things that are happening. To be able to smile and laugh, that means that you're not um, that you're not hurting, even if it's for that few minutes. So or maybe you might need a distraction, but just be very careful when we accuse people of not being, you know here for the Sussexes, or we don't get humor. But like, I posted that video from Saturday Night Live where they said that what's his name, Louis, was missing a finger. And of course, Saturday Night Live said Meghan Markle has a finger that she would like to offer. And one of the squatties said, they need to keep Meghan's name out of their mouths. I understand. I understand. Trust me, I get it. Because of what the Sussexes have been through, sometimes it's hard to laugh. I understand that. But because of what the Sussexes have been through, sometimes you need to laugh. And yes, sometimes it may actually be at their expense. But it wasn't malicious, it was just funny. But some people don't find that kind of stuff funny. So, just saying, lighten up, lighten up. Baron, I joined this channel simply because you literally make me laugh out loud every single day. Well, thank you. That was very sweet. And I love, love, love hearing that. I love hearing that. But yeah, but for the record, I never intend to be so malicious, but I'm only human. Sometimes I do scare myself, but for the most part, I try not to be so, so cruel or malicious. But yeah, sometimes I can be very sarcastic and very cynical, um and it's easy to interpret what I think is humorous as being humorous. You might find it offensive, but um I think I usually catch myself before it gets too far. But yeah, and then sometimes I just get frustrated. Sometimes I say a bit much because I'm very frustrated. Thank you again for your comment. Oh yeah, Big Mama, I couldn't do this without injecting humor. Let's see. Leslie Up says Baron Willie Leak today. He blamed Harry for the king getting cancer, and he has no intentions of making time to see Harry this visit. Shaking my head, but it was also pointed out that he has not visited his father, or as they say in Germany, on he has not visited his father. Yes, he has not visited his father. Yeah. Um, and that's true. As far as we know, there has been no visit, which is puzzling, but there seems as though there has been no visit. So, um, there was one thing I was going to share with you guys, but I decided not to. But let me see if I have that. If I do have it, I will play it. I will play it. It's a little long-winded, but it does make that point. It definitely makes that point. And no, I do not have it. But it was on the LGB or whatever. And what it was someone had made the assertion that Harry may have caused the cancer because of what he put Charles through. Oh, here it is.
75. Now, at 75, most.
Okay. This is almost 5 minutes long. So I'm going to, I don't know, but it makes that point. So if you guys want to stick around and listen, please do. But if not, I am done, but I'm going to play it.
People have decided to call it a day. President got to be accepted, but I mean, I'm a gentleman entering early middle age. You see what I mean? I don't think I want to be working at 75.
You probably will be, Mike. We won't be able to get you off the telly.
There's two issues to raise with with His Majesty the King that I haven't heard discussed so far. Firstly, could the stress of having to sort out the Harry situation over the last 2 years have contributed to his illness? Because we know that stress does contribute to illness. Stress can give you heart attacks, stress can give you nervous conditions, and I believe if you ask top doctors, they'll say, yes, it could be responsible for at least enhancing the King's, anxiety, and that anxiety in itself might have worked its way physically into his body. And the other issue, I was very ill a few years ago. I was in hospital for 4 months waiting for a heart transplant, okay?
Wow.
And I can tell you, the loneliness of serious illness is something only you can know. Now, I know he's got the Queen alongside him. He's got his son now flying across the Atlantic. He's got the rest of the royal family. But inside your head, you are very, very lonely because only you know the intimate conversations you've had with your doctors. Only you know how you feel on a day-to-day basis, and only you know the fears in your head about what will become of you.
Well, and Mike, I hope you're wrong that the stress caused by family rifts could have, led along this.
There's any medical evidence for that whatsoever. Actually. And my wife was the chief nursing practitioner at the Royal Marsden Hospital. She did her postgraduate in oncology. And what she said to me, two things. One is, you can always tell there's people who are going to fight through and survive. Even with identical symptoms, some people have it in them to actually fight through and survive. But there's no way in which something like bowel cancer or bladder cancer could possibly be psychosomatic or caused by stress.
Yes.
I mean, there's no evidence whatsoever to that.
Well, there's not, but doctors talk about it all the time. I mean,
that doesn't necessarily make it right.
It doesn't necessarily make it right, but it doesn't wipe it out altogether. No. I mean, the more you worry about things in life, you do inherit medical conditions without a shadow of a doubt. Like, for instance, heart. Who's to say that can't, affect you in other areas of your body with other diseases?
Well, no doubt he has had a lot of stress.
That's certainly true. But there is now this great hope that perhaps this rift that has gone on for...
Okay, so there you have it. I forget the name of the guy that said that, but you heard the other guy said there is no evidence, there's no link between Charles's situation and stress. There's a lot of very, I won't say anybody's life is worry-free, but there's a lot of people who have very long quality lives, and then all of a sudden it's interrupted with cancer. Some people who never smoked have died from lung cancer. So come on. This blame Harry and Meghan stuff, and this is why it's not safe for them to be there, because of this hate campaign. And this person is going through so much trouble to find a link between Charles having cancer and the last few years of everything that has happened in the royal family. Well, how come this person hasn't made the link between the Sussexes having to leave and their lives being threatened because of the nasty things that have been said by the Royal Rota? The Royal Rota, as far as I'm concerned, the Royal Rota, Kensington Palace, Clarence House, that whole the four amigos, Will, Kate, Charles, and Camilla, they are the reason why the Sussexes' lives have been in danger. They're the reasons why Meghan suffered the loss, they suffered the loss of an unborn child. It's because of what that family has put them through. But there's nobody on television speaking out for them. I said what I said. I hold them responsible. Princess Diana is not alive because of Charles and Camilla. What they put her through and driving her away from that family left her vulnerable. And whether they were directly associated by some nefarious means or in a roundabout way because of everything they put them through. And the one thing that is a recurring comment from a lot of well-meaning people is when they say that the Sussexes have been abused. Yes, they have done some very silly things. Yes, they have done some irresponsible things. I think not. I think everything they have done, rather, has been right and proper. And if they have made a mistake, it is only because of what that institution has put them through. If they have reached the wrong conclusion, if they have said too much or done too much, it all started when they were driven out of that institution. And we know who was responsible for that. I won't say alleged. We know who was responsible for that. They were responsible. They did everything they could with their courtiers to make life miserable for Harry and Meghan, to drive Meghan to the brink, hoping that she would just leave. And also, they are responsible, especially this one, with her long relationship with the tabloid media. She had to give up a lot for the protection that she has. And likewise, he who paid for the image consultant that suggested a lot of those things to help reform her reputation. I hold them responsible. That's what I feel. That's what I believe. I hold them responsible. They were the ones that drove the Sussexes out of that family, away from that family. And so, karma or no karma, they're right where they're supposed to be. They're right where they're supposed to be. It would be really interesting if all of this comes to a screeching halt, if everything ends because of what they have been doing, because of the nasty deeds that they have committed. Those are some awful, awful people. Awful. Charles included. I don't care what he's going through right now. He has been terrible. He has shown a lack of reason, a lack of leadership. Who does that to their own child? Who does that to their own child? That's why it's easy for me to accept that that he and Camilla have been trolling William, because they definitely are not going to make him listen. They're not going to make him listen. There's no way to make him do anything he doesn't want to do. William has not been challenged in years. And remember, I said a long time ago, William's kingdom was Kensington Palace. That was his kingdom. And his word was law. And nobody in that palace could exceed his authority. Even Charles, because Charles wasn't going to come over there. Even the Queen. The Queen wasn't fooling with it. And the courtiers, they seem to have been terrified of William. The Queen's courtiers, Charles' courtiers, they seem to be terrified of him. It must be a reason why nobody challenges him. There must be a reason. He must be so volatile and so unpredictable that everybody's afraid of him. But nobody challenges him. He does whatever he wants. He wanted an 8 million pound helicopter. He got an 8 million pound helicopter. Annie Bennett, morning, Baron. I'm very late. I haven't been to your live for a while. Hey, squaddies. Hey, Annie Bennett. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Leg says, don't be a monarch if you don't want stress. Thank you, Legs. Very, very, very true. Very well put. Very well put. If you can't stand the heat, get the frappuccino out of the kitchen. Yep. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. So wise. And you know who said that? It was Harry S. Truman. If you don't like the heat or you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. The buck stops here. Okay. Well, you guys, I think that should do it. I am not going to stay up late tonight. I am kind of tired. I am tired. So, again, thank you all. This was very, very interesting. And I have to applaud you all because a lot of the comments and such that you all have said tonight have been absolutely brilliant. I came into it with an open mind and I feel as though progress has been made. So, progress in that we have a greater understanding. Heads together, right? Heads together. Baron, I have never agreed more with you than what you just said. Really, what did I say? I wish I knew what I just said. Oh, you mean about them being responsible? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. The dogged hatred that comes from that family, I just don't get it. Why? I don't know if they're listening to the courtiers or if they are just so ignorant, but I know it's an institution. I know that it's the firm. It has this military component, it has this religious component, it has this family component. Act more like a family. People will forgive you for almost anything if you just act more human. But yet they go the opposite. They want to become this almost robotic Stepford wife like creation. And nowadays, especially if you're trying to appeal to young people are more in touch with their feelings. They don't give a toss about all that protocol stuff. To be vulnerable is to be very strong. You have to be a very strong person to openly display your vulnerability, to expose yourself. Here I am. Take me, accept me for who I am. That takes courage. That's not a coward. That's someone who has courage. It's the opposite. Just like they say when someone plays the dumb blonde, when someone plays absolutely naive, that is the mark of real acting, is when someone can do that, especially a quote unquote bright, smart, intelligent person who has the ability to play or downplay their intelligence. That takes a lot of skill. I've always heard that. That takes a lot of skill. And don't just happen. That is truly acting. Oh, April, May, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. That I promise you, I appreciate that. Thank you. Hazel Jones says, Baron, you're also right about Kensington Palace. William moved into apartment 1A, and the Gloucesters decided to move from apartment 1 to refurbish stables. Yeah, it must have been, God, it must have been a nightmare living over in Kensington Palace. It must have been a nightmare. And when people say that the Queen, and I heard someone say this today, and I've heard it before, that the Queen rejected the half in, half out. Did the Queen reject it, or did she just not say anything? The inevitability of Charles becoming a regent I don't know how long ago Charles became a regent for the Queen, but he was. Charles mirrored everything that the Queen was doing. And the reason why was to give him more responsibility and more leverage as the Prince of Wales, right? Now, whether or not there were documents making him the regent, I don't know. But he seemed to act as a regent a few years before the Queen died, which is why I'm constantly saying that I would be very interested in knowing exactly what happened with the Queen and Charles, um, and Harry and Meghan, because it seemed like the Queen had some intentions for them. And then through intervention from Charles and William, all of that suddenly changed and the Queen went silent. Harry couldn't even talk to her. So it borders between elder abuse. I would say I'm guessing elder abuse, allegedly, or something else, or something else. That's what I think. And I think it's important to know. And I think that maybe one of these days, Harry will tell the story. I want to know. And I know a lot of you all say, who cares? The Queen this, the Queen that. But that was Harry's grandmother. And that relationship with Harry was very important. And I want to know if the Queen was capable of being so harsh to Harry, or was it someone else for some other reason? I want to know. It just seems really strange that the Queen had intentions for them, and then all of a sudden things were being taken away from them. And that's why it doesn't surprise me when Harry said at the Sandringham summit, the Queen just sat there. Well, when you just sit there and you're speechless, that usually means that you're either afraid or you're defeated. You're either afraid or you're just absolutely defeated. Harry says the Queen gave him approval, the Queen gave instructions, and then the courtiers walked away with their orders and did absolutely nothing because they were answering to Charles. Remember, Charles got rid of the courtiers the Queen had and replaced them with people in his own likeness. And so whatever the Queen said, it had to filter through those courtiers that she had not actually hired herself. They were given to her. Yeah, and remember they were saying that the Queen had to have given Harry the proof that he spoke about in court. He was able to produce a document saying that it was the Queen's wish that they have security. The order was given, but the security was taken away. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I want to know what happened. Let me see. If Charles was signing official documents, he was the regent. Well, now they said that about 100 times that that the Queen invoked the Council of State or whatever, where people could act on her behalf. But as for the regent, that's a little different, of course, very different, because it's like giving someone the power of attorney. That is like giving someone power of attorney. Once you do that, they can sign a contract in your name. They could hire and fire in your name while you're still alive. So, yeah, what happened? Let me see. I feel by the time of the summit, the Queen was too frail to do anything. Yeah, absolutely. She was too frail. And they took advantage of that. They took advantage. And the inevitability of Charles being the monarch, the people that worked at, for the Queen, they were some of her staff. This is what I've heard before, that Charles had very little respect for his mother's household, and he felt as though her household was ancient. The way they ran it was very ancient and inadequate and everything, that it just wasn't modern. It just wasn't with the times. And so that transferred to his staff. So the courtiers working for Charles, they took the cue from him to disrespect the Queen's household. And households do communicate with memos and such. And whether it was through actions or words or deeds or whatever, the Clarence House people were crapping all over the Buckingham Palace people, meaning the Queen's household. And there was, and it was okay, because Charles had made it clear that you need not listen to them. You don't need to respect them. Do as I say. Don't worry about my mother. I will handle that. And he did. Got rid of her people and put his own people in there. All he had to do was put in one or two key members or staff people to run the rest of them into the ground. So, wow. Mighty Lizzie reduced to a frail, frightened old woman, a prisoner in her own home. The Queen didn't even want to die in Balmoral. She wanted to come back to Windsor. She wanted to be where Philip died. They wouldn't even let her go. And when Harry and Meghan went to see the Queen that time when everybody was out of town, and they snuck in there and went to see the Queen, they sent the Queen to Sandringham. It was almost like a punishment. Now go to Sandringham. And then when she was dying, she wanted to be home, and they wouldn't let her. They told her she had to stay in Balmoral. And Balmoral is where she died. Doesn't it make sense that she would want to be where Philip died? But no, they made her stay up there. At that point, the Queen was being handled. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, we are about to go, but yes, that concludes Royal Sussex for today. Yeah. Let me see. Yes, that concludes Royal Sussex for today. And what a great way to end the Royal Sussex today than with Connie Balmer. Thank you so much. Okay. And also I'm kind of losing my voice, so I had better go. Thank you all very much. Love you guys. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And do pray for our faves. Pray that Harry gets in and out of there without incident, because there's a bunch of vipers everywhere. And I don't trust any of them. I don't trust them any further than I can throw them. So pray for our fave, because he's surrounded by some haters. Yeah, he's surrounded by the haters. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go. Thank you, and many thank yous. Now, how are we going to end this? We need a word for the day. We need a word for the day. And I thought I had something, and I just realized I do not. Now I think I do. I think this is how we're going to end it. Thank you for being there for each other and for Prince Harry. But Harry has angels surrounding him. Thank you so much, Lit for Sussex. Love it. And that'll be how we end it for today. Thank you so much. And also, it always goes back to our queens, doesn't it? It always goes back to our queens. Every time it goes back to our queens. We take it right back to them. That is the beginning. Okay. Unless cue Ginger Avenger. And I will see you all tomorrow. And I promise I am not coming back after this. But I will see you all tomorrow. So cue Ginger Avenger. Meanwhile, at a sanitarium somewhere in Switzerland, let me out of here. Let me out of here. Hello? Is there anyone there? Let me out of here. Okay, I did promise, but I couldn't help myself. Maybe that's what we'll hear tomorrow, is that someone is locked away at a sanitarium in Switzerland, or perhaps how about oh, I know. How about a convent? Yes, a convent in Tierra del Fuego. Yes, that's what happened. Is that someone has been shipped off to a convent in Tierra del Fuego. Yes, I have solved it. No, okay. All right, so that's it. I promise I'm going to go. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.